I'd like to invite Jack Berry from Richmond Regional Tourism, President, and Executive Vice President Catherine O'Donnell is here, and Danielle Fitzhugh is here also from Richmond Regional Tourism for their annual update about everything that's good, not just for the region, but just as important, Chesterfield County, and especially with our new focus on sports, visitation, entertainment under the leadership of J.C. Poma, a former RRT employee. The nexus is as strong as ever between our two entities. Mr. Berry.
Thank you, Dr. Casey, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm joined tonight with Catherine and Danielle, which are no strangers here tonight, that'll join me in our presentation. And it's all great news to be hearing. And of course, we are a regional cooperation program in Central Virginia. We represent these 7 jurisdictions. And again, it's wonderful for regional cooperation because what we invest in any of the jurisdictions is spread throughout. So it's been a great year. Travel is back. You can see that we have 17 million visitors, but that's including day trippers as well. 6.6 million are overnight visitors, but we've come out of the COVID very, very strongly. And then also, visitor spending is very up for the Chesterfield visitor. $582 million spent, 9% ahead of 2021. These numbers are put up by Virginia Tourism, then reported to U.S. Travel, and Chesterfield had a fabulous year. And then also just a record year in hotel tax collections that you're all aware of, that during the COVID in 2022 fiscal year, we beat the record at $30 million. In fiscal year 2023, we collected $35 million, a 16% growth. And again, Central Virginia is on fire versus some of our competitors throughout the state. So these are the 4 pillars of travel, and all of these hit on all cylinders here in the county. Top left is family and friends. It's the #1 reason people travel. This is the #1 market once the COVID started to lift. I think probably you did it yourself, that you visited family and friends once the COVID started getting eased. Meetings, conventions, and sports, very strong. Of course, this did really save us through the pandemic, and this is what's really put us on the map for these record numbers. Leisure is bottom right. We have 80 attractions from King's Dominion down to Henricus and to the Tractor Museum down in Colonial Heights. And the beauty is that once the pandemic started to release and people weren't going to the first tier cities, they flooded to our destinations. The attractions did record business as well. But the bottom left is business travel, and every destination is trying to work this out. Zoom has not been our friend for getting the business traveler back. But again, in 2008, it took 60 months to recover. And for business travel, I dare say it's going to take years to recover, and probably in 2025 to get to some normalcy. And then this just shows the demographics, which is very interesting, I think, on the bottom left, is that there's not one particular season. Typically, these are close to 24-25%. The winter has taken a little bit of a hit, and the summer has been much more growth because of the sports, travel, and tourism. But again, you can see that the interesting part is the nights for spending the night is increasing versus the day trips, which are somewhat decreasing. And again, it just shows you our market. We're coming from Northern Virginia and Washington. With that, I'll turn this over to Catherine.
Good evening. Great to be with you all again tonight. One of the jobs that we have at Richmond Region Tourism is to inspire visitors to choose the Richmond region for their travel destination. And we do this in a number of ways, advertising, social media, et cetera. But one thing that's really important is for influencing this destinations is media relations. So I have a sampling here of some publications that recently featured Chesterfield in the region, and this is how people make decisions. They read about places they want to go and choose Chesterfield. So we have Southern Living featured the best locally owned restaurants in every southern state, and 21 Spoons was the winner for the state of Virginia. Good Housekeeping, another really influential one, named the Richmond region one of the top 15 best places to visit in April, and listed all of our jurisdictions by name, which is unusual, including Chesterfield. And of course, Beer is ever popular, and some great write-ups on all the breweries in the region as well. We also really rely on social media. I know you all are campaigning and understand the importance of social media and getting the word out for your types of messaging. It's the same thing in tourism and travel. So we put a couple of samples here of some of the features that we have done in Chesterfield County. The Berry Farm this time of year got a lot of engagement and continues to, golf and so on. So we have a blog that we hope you're following, as well as our social media channels that we're using to remind people about what there is to see and do in the Richmond region. You all are very familiar with the impact of sports tourism. I know that you hear this from your staff as you look forward to development in the county and various jurisdictions and your districts within the county. The county's done a great job in thinking about how to grow sports tourism, but again, as you know, it continues to be a leading force in the events that Richmond Region Tourism is bringing in, as evidenced here once again this year. You have lots of interesting highlights in sports tourism. I just picked a couple that I thought were of note. U.S. Masters, we have that very regularly here at SOMA RVA. A 99-year-old broke a world record in Chesterfield County here. And that's a pretty cool, not only just for that person, but for the media coverage that we got from that event. Shooting Star, we love this event, comes every Thanksgiving. We feel a little sad for some of those families that have to leave their homes on Thanksgiving, but not too sad because they come, play in Chesterfield County, stay in our hotels, shop in our stores, eat in our restaurants. And then niche sports, spike ball has taken off and came here for a tournament as well. There are also meetings and conventions that I think are interesting to highlight that took place last year or are coming up in Chesterfield County. Jehovah's Witness has been meeting in the Richmond region for decades, and they used to have 6 weekends and were meeting downtown, first in the Coliseum and then the Convention Center. This past summer, they decided to meet in the Kingdom Hall, located here in Chesterfield, and spread it out over 12 weekends and generated 7,000 room nights for our region. So that is even better because it's just more frequency in every weekend in the summer, adding just volume of folks in the region and based here in Chesterfield. I thought this was interesting too. You all hosted the Greater Appalachian Llama and Alpaca Convention here. And there's a picture of one of our colleagues meeting one of the furry friends. So you never know what kind of conference we can bring, and we want to bring any type that wants to come. And upcoming, also an interesting one that will be coming to Chesterfield, the Siren Symposium Mermaid Convention, coming to Chesterfield County in 2024. So we'll be happy to report on that one next year as well. On a more forward-thinking note, every year we update you all on the Tourism Master Plan. As you recall, we worked with the community to put forth a plan for the whole region's tourism ecosystem that looks at 2030 as our benchmark. The priorities we've been working on and that are coming to a close are the Headquarter Hotel, the Regional Inspiration Campaign, Sustainable Investment, as well as Workforce Development. So I'm going to give you an update on each of these. First off, I hope you all have been following the Headquarter Hotel project. This is a part of the City Center project that the City of Richmond and the Greater Richmond Convention Authority are leading. This impacts you all, of course, as Dr. Casey is a member of the Greater Richmond Convention Center Authority, and the county invests in the building. We know that it drives great compression for our region. So great progress there. It's all in the media, but they're getting close to selecting a firm to develop the Headquarter Hotel that we have desperately needed for so long to maximize our convention center. The Inspiration Campaign, this is one that we partnered on with the Chamber and Greater Richmond Partnership to raise awareness of the Richmond region as a place to live, work, and play. This was launched using ARPA funds that you all allocated to us, and all of our funding jurisdictions did. We launched it in June. It has been running since then, already generating 90 million impressions. It's on digital, it's on connected TV, and all of our important markets that Jack was mentioning before. And I'm going to show you the video momentarily. This is a new, very cutting-edge way of doing video. It's different from what you think of when you think of a normal tourism ad, where there's lots of loud music or voiceover. We use ASMR technology. If you're not familiar with this, your younger friends, children, and grandchildren are. ASMR is a very popular sound-based technology on social media. So the idea is that this will differentiate us and have people to look up and see what it's about. So we'll take a look.
en route to the Richmond region.
So that's the new inspiration campaign. It will be running through the end of June. Again, using the ARPA funding and driving more awareness than we've ever been able to in our past to the Richmond region. The next update is on our sustainable funding. You guys are very familiar with this because I spoke to you many times in the last year about the Tourism Improvement District, and we're so grateful that that is underway. The funds began collecting on July 1st, and I'm here to give you some updates on how we're going to spend the money. Or we are spending the money already. The governing body, which is made up of hotels, a subcommittee of our board, approved a work plan and budget, and we're starting to execute. The takeaway for you on marketing is that we're always going to be on. So in the past, we could not afford to advertise year-round, and now with the TID funds, we can. So you can see from this chart, which is a little bit hard to read, but you'll have it sent to you as well, that we have the inspiration campaign is the orange bar across the top. So that's going on. And then all the other colored bars are new campaigns that are being funded by the Tourism Improvement District, and you can see where they fall out through the year. We just started receiving the funds in October or at the end of September, so we're starting to spend the money now. We're doing 3 overarching campaigns, one with TripAdvisor and 2 on 2 other platforms you probably haven't heard of, but they serve ads about the region in general to people who are considering the places like the Richmond region in our competitive set or in our area. And then the other campaigns are more specialized, driving hotel visitation and visitation in December. We're going to be doing jurisdiction-specific campaigns in the spring. We're going to do campaigns with our airport fly destinations, getting folks to promote them coming here. Lots of great new things that we could not afford to do. So overall, the goal, as always, with the TID is to drive hotel occupancy. That's the mandate from the law, targeting people who are intending to travel, focusing on midweek and need periods, and expanding our markets, farther away driving and direct flight markets. On the meetings and convention side of things, we've added a whole bunch of new trade shows, which are the ones at the top in this list, some of which have already taken place. We've had 3 that have happened since the TID launch, 2 brand new ones, one for smaller meetings that could take place in single property, like 1 hotel meeting size. One, IMEX North America, our team just got back from that. It was last week. It's the biggest convention there is. There were 17,000 attendees there, and we came back with 3 RFPs and some interest in conventions coming to our region. We are also expanding our presence. That's the bottom list. It's some ones we were already going to, but we have a larger booth. We did this already with Teams, which is a sports conference that JC and some others from Chesterfield came with us, and we were able to double our number of appointments and have a larger presence, and again, some good, strong leads coming back from that. We also are covering the membership for every hotel in the TID to Virginia Restaurant Lodging Travel Association, and that has already taken place. They've all been contacted and are now getting the benefits from that association. And we'll be starting up with some 360 virtual tours of all hotels as well. And on the workforce development front, Danielle is here, who I know you all know, and she will tell you all about what we're doing in that space.
Good evening, everyone.
I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our in-market community relations work that we focus on with workforce initiatives, uplifting hospitality careers through diverse options, supporting our citizens, partners, and localities to increase tourism in the region. And we support our scholarships through advancing career paths in all tourism-related careers to help backfill some of that industry that was decimated during the past COVID. I Am Tourism, this past year, we hosted 5 classes right here in Chesterfield with our friends at Bryan and Stratton. We're getting ready to host a 6th class next week on the 2nd at Bryan and Stratton, providing an immersive experience to community to help attract visitors, but keeping visitor spending right here in our localities. We're putting the resources right back into the community we serve through a variety of scholarships and events, scholarships in businesses, scholarships in other associations to help uplift their work, and through workforce development, supporting our next generation of learners, and with student scholarships at all of our higher institutions in the region, offering hospitality, sports management, and other tourism-related programs. RVA Sports Awards is our foundation sports tourism grant program where we put out at least $25,000 towards sports tourism events that help uplift the region's tourism right here in the region, including right here at River City Parks. The foundation's mission is to impact and benefit tourism throughout the region by investing in local education, diversity, and sports tourism. As you've heard, your investment in tourism pays off. You've heard that through the numbers this evening. Tourism improves the quality of life for our residents right here in Chesterfield by helping bolster the economy, generating jobs, and supporting the places that make living here amazing. Our team at RRT has a passion and love for our community that is unmatched, and it's an honor to promote Chesterfield to the world and beyond. Thank you, and we're happy to answer any questions.
Board members, any questions, comments? Well, that was easy.
Mr. Chairman, I have to comment here as a member of the Richmond Region Tourism Board. I want to thank you all for being here. Jack, Catherine, Danielle, thank you for the tremendous job you do in the region. And it makes a difference right here in Chesterfield and the region, all the work you do to bring people here to make a difference. And many decide to stay here and move here because they love the Richmond region for the excellent restaurants and outstanding hotels. So thank you all for the great work you're doing. I look forward to seeing you again at our next board meeting. Thank you for being here this evening and for such a glowing report on tourism here in Chesterfield County.
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Winslow.
Just looking at the number, 73% of visits being related to sports tourism is pretty incredible. That's 3 out of every 4 visits to the Richmond region. And so just looking at the video the inspiration campaign video that you all put together, it does occur to me that that's more and more of that video is going to be, particularly as all these other facilities come online in the region in the coming years. I mean, you could probably have dedicated videos just to that. Okay, so I'm getting a thumbs up. That's coming. But it definitely occurs to me that that's a growing piece of this pie. It's already huge, but growing even more.
Yes, great thought. And we do have dedicated sports videos. We have a lot of videos, and we would be happy to send our YouTube channel over to you for your viewing pleasure. This is just one we chose to show you tonight. So yes, sports is definitely the largest segment of the booked business, and then leisure is also huge too. So it's great to have both.
Thank you very much. Anything else? Awesome. Thank you.